Howdy everybody, I'm here at the Calgary Stampede and I'm just going to ask some Stampede goers about the moral and ethical implications of using animals for entertainment. So let's check it out. Hi girls, my name's Adam.
Hi.
I'm just wondering what brings you to the Stampede today?
Well, we are coming with a whole bunch of girls that we work with
Cool.
to have a fun day.
Yeah,
like a
team
bonding. Yeah, team bonding.
Yeah.
What brings you to the Stampede today?
It was a free day. My grandma took me, so it was a free day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just watching the rodeo, taking some festivities in.
Yeah. Awesome.
Usual.
Are you a local of Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite events at the Stampede?
I would say the acro dunk and the freestylers
Nice.
are pretty nice.
Yeah, sweet. Are you locals of Calgary and have you been to the Stampede before?
Many times. We're
Yeah.
locals.
Yeah,
I have
awesome.
not.
You have
been.
not? It's your first time at the Stampede? What event are you most looking forward to?
I don't know. Making her go on the Ferris wheel.
Can you think of the group of individuals who are present here at the Stampede that may not want to be here?
Individuals?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so, but I'm not sure.
No, you can't? Can you think of a group of individuals that might be at the Stampede right now that if they had their choice wouldn't be at the Stampede?
Probably my friend's family. They hate the Stampede. That's all I got.
Okay. How about the four-legged creatures?
Okay, you're talking about animals?
Yeah. Do you think that animals, if they had their choice, would they want to partake in the events that we subject them to?
Probably not.
I'm thinking of a different, maybe a different species. Can you think of who might not want to be here right now?
Maybe the horses.
Maybe the horses,
Yeah.
yeah. They have 4 legs. Some have 4 legs.
The horses.
The horses,
yeah.
the cows, the calves.
Exactly, the controversy around that.
Yeah, totally. But I'll give you a hint. They're on 4 legs.
Horses.
Horses. Do you think that if they had their own say, maybe the animals present in the Stampede wouldn't want to partake in the events?
Probably.
Yeah, that's true, hey. Do you think there's any, ethical or moral questions regarding the use of animals for our entertainment?
I don't think it's very fun to watch them. They don't seem to be having fun. Animals should be free to run through the forest and run through the fields and stuff.
Do you think there's any moral or ethical issues surrounding the use of animals for our entertainment?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit? Yeah. Because why would you say a little bit?
Because they don't have a choice.
It's true, they don't have a choice. We definitely subject them to these things and we just say, you're doing this now, right? So what do you think about the ethical and moral implications about us continuing to use animals for entertainment?
We actually talked about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no way. Well, now we're talking about it.
We're completely against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So you think that we could have a Stampede where we don't exploit animals and still have a great time?
I mean, I'd say so, but I'm not passionate about watching the chuck wagon
Right.
races.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't think my opinion is really.
I think your opinion is valid.
For me
So,
personally,
yeah.
I think we could have just as great of a Stampede, but I'm not sure other.
Do you think there are any ethical or moral questions about using animals for entertainment in today's world?
I think there's a lot of moral issues around that. Animals do have their own rights, so
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that we should continue to exploit animals for our own entertainment purposes?
why should we exploit? What your question is too loaded.
It's too loaded. Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't mean
yeah.
for it to be loaded.
Yeah, you don't, first of all, you don't want to exploit animals for the sake of exploiting them, right? So I didn't think.
Well, then maybe I'll just say use. Do you think it's right that we use animals for our entertainment purposes? If maybe if they had the choice, they wouldn't choose to get roped by the legs, for
I
instance.
would not even know if animals would have that choice at all because it looks like they don't have a choice. So
Yeah.
what choice is there to talk
Yeah,
about?
that's true. It's a harsh reality for them, isn't it?
It could be a harsh reality, but it depends on how you see it.
Okay.
Really, it depends on whose perspective you're talking about here.
Our perspective or their perspective? Probably our perspective, right? Do you think there are any moral or ethical issues surrounding our use of animals for entertainment?
I guess sometimes they're abused. Sometimes, depending on if they're overworked or something.
Yeah.
So it could it could be changed if they're taken care well. Some personal trainers that have their own horses.
Yeah, well, there are veterinarians on site, and the animals are actually, supposedly, I read the website recently, they're very well looked after. But despite that, since 1986, about 100 animals have been killed for our entertainment in the Stampede. Do you think that's acceptable?
No, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think about the moral and ethical questions about using animals for entertainment?
Never really thought about it. Well, I thought about it, but I don't necessarily have an opinion on it, I guess. I mean, I like bull riding. I don't really like calf roping or steer wrestling because bull riding kind of means like it's dangerous for the human more than the bull.
I see,
While the other two is kind of, it makes you uncomfortable sometimes seeing a calf getting twisted around a little bit.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they're very innocent, and they definitely don't want that to be happening to them.
Yeah.
And did you know that many cows will have their legs broken, and for that reason they'll have to be euthanized?
Wasn't aware of that. But
Yeah. Did you know that since 1986, about 100 animals have been killed in the Stampede for our entertainment?
That's way more than I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't think any were killed, actually. That's horrible.
Yeah, there are a couple every year, and it's often due to accidental things like a calf will be roped and it'll have its legs broken, and for that reason it'll have to be euthanized. Sometimes even animals have had heart attacks because they're afraid of the fireworks. How does that make you feel?
That makes me so sad. I've heard of even dogs being killed at their homes because of heart attacks. They're so scared of the fireworks. So, yeah.
Did you know that since 1986, about 100 animals have been killed in the Stampede for our entertainment?
familiar with not familiar with the count, but familiar with the casualties. Yep.
Yeah, I know you're big into the culture, and that's totally cool. But do you think that we could have a Stampede where we don't harm and exploit animals and still have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I very seldom come to the rodeo, so then I still enjoy Stampede. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you think that our use of animals in the Stampede is deeply rooted in culture? In the culture of raising cattle and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you think that necessarily justifies maybe putting animals through things they wouldn't want to be put through for our entertainment?
Yeah, that is true. Because sometimes, like during the parade and stuff, sometimes you could hear the voices of the horses. Sometimes, they're louder than usual, or sometimes like that.
Did you know that recently in Canada, the use of dolphins and whales in aquariums has been banned? Did you know that?
Not that I know of, but if in that case, if it's been banned, then I would not doubt that.
Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that idea to ban the use of dolphins and whales in aquariums?
I think so. I think these are animals that are extinct and I think
Endangered.
an
certainly.
endangered species. So
Did you know that recently in Canada, we've banned the use of whales and dolphins in aquariums?
I did not.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, and how do you appreciate that? Do you think it's a step in the right direction? How do you feel about that?
I think it's a step in the right direction, yes.
Yeah. And why do you say that?
Well, because, then I'm going to get myself contradicting myself
That's okay.
about the Stampede.
That's okay.
So
Do you think dolphins are highly intelligent?
I do, and
Yeah.
I don't think they should be fined. No, we've seen them.
I agree. Do you think there's any difference between a cow or a dolphin in their capacity to feel pain or to suffer?
They all suffer,
That's right. Yeah.
but dolphins are smarter than cows.
But they can still suffer all the same.
Yeah, they can all suffer, yes.
And I'm sure you guys have spent enough time
And
around
you're-
cows to know cows are pretty intelligent themselves.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Did you know that recently in Canada that we banned the use of dolphins and whales in captivity? Did you know that? This happened just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so no longer can Canada have dolphins and whales in captivity. Do you think that's a good step forward?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that there's any difference between a cow or a dolphin in their capacity to suffer or feel pain?
I don't know, it's kind of tough because we do eat cows.
Yes.
You know, we don't
Yeah.
eat dolphins. It's like,
Well, in some parts of the world they eat dolphins. In
well,
Japan,
yeah,
for instance, they eat dolphins.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I think all animals can suffer, so I don't think animals should be exploited. So
Did you know that recently in Canada that we've banned the use of dolphins and whales in aquariums?
Yeah, that makes me so happy. I've heard SeaWorld has taken so many animals out of the wild, which
Yeah.
is so bad,
Yeah.
so cruel, yeah.
Do you think there's anything different between a cow or a dolphin in their ability to suffer or feel pain?
Yeah, there is. Dolphins are one of the smartest animals on Earth, so they want to be out in the wild. They don't want to be taken from their home. They want to be out swimming in the wild, not in a small little contained area. It's horrible.
Do you think a cow or a horse might want to be free as well?
Yes, cows and horses want to be out in the fields. They want to be free walking through the fields. They want to have their own personal space other
Yeah.
than being in a small little crate for the rest of their lives.
Do you think that they might feel pain kind of the same way that a dolphin might?
Yes, yeah, they do.
Yeah. Do you think that we could have a stampede where we don't exploit animals for our own entertainment and still have a good time?
then it's just a fair.
Then it's just a fair. Oh, okay, okay. So you think that the exploitation of animals is justified because it makes it the greatest show on earth?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. We grew up on a farm, so
Yeah, that's
we
okay.
had animals. We did the rotoring, we did the castration, we did the whole bit. So.
I completely understand. So it's deeply rooted in your culture
Yes.
to use animals.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that culture necessarily dictates morality? Because something's been done for a long time, should it continue to happen?
Well, we continue a lot of things that
do.
we shouldn't do.
We do.
Not just animals. There's other things that we do that we shouldn't do.
So you think that maybe the use of animals for exploitation or for our entertainment purposes is no longer justified because it's unnecessary and we know it harms them?
Well, I think the horses are very, very well treated, so I can't say anything about the horses.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for the little calves when they yank their
Yes.
heads back. Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Yeah. Did you know that some of those calves will have to be euthanized because of their broken limbs?
And then we'll just have calf meat to eat.
Just have veal?
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
have veal.
Did you know that since 1986, about 100 animals have been killed at the Stampede for our entertainment?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And is that okay?
Never okay. We never want to see animals hurt.
I completely agree. Yeah. Do you think that we could have a stampede where we still have a great time, but we don't use or we don't exploit animals for our own entertainment?
Yes, I think it'd still be the exact same thing, but like without the rodeo. But it's the Stampede's one of the best outdoor shows on earth. So yeah.
Do you think it would still be the best outdoor show on earth if they didn't use cows and horses for races and these kinds of things?
Yes, I would. It's a really nice place to be during the summer. It's
Yeah.
like during the couple weeks that it's running. So yeah.
Do you think there'd be any difference between a cow or a dolphin in terms of their ability to suffer or feel pain?
Man, come on, pain. Do you really calibrate pain based on your level of animality? No, you don't.
No, it's pain is pain,
So,
right?
Pain is pain.
Yeah, I completely agree. Could you see a future where we don't use animals at the Stampede and where like it's considered outlawed? It's considered like a relic of the past.
Well, I guess would you still have the consider a livestock show cruelty? You know.
Well, considering the livestock will be sent to slaughter shortly, then I suppose I would.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it really, I guess it really depends on how you look at that. I mean, if it's a sheep, then they're not slaughtering them. A lot of them aren't being slaughtered. They're used for coats and stuff. And they're just repeating. So it's I wouldn't say a blanket ban because I
agree,
think
yeah.
a lot of these
Yeah.
comes from the livestock show and the trading of livestock.
Yeah. Do you see maybe a future where using animals at the Stampede is outlawed, where it's no longer allowed?
Maybe, cause like if people actually looked into it and like went for like justice upon it,
Yeah.
then it could be a possibility.
Yeah, I completely agree. Do you see a future where using animals at the Stampede is outlawed?
Like completely gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like that to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that will happen.
I think it could, but it might take a long time.
I don't see it happening very soon because there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people
That are very ingrained in the culture
Yeah.
of using animals. Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
like the far
yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back on culture, do you think that, I mean, because so much of our lives are kind of embedded in culture, do you think that culture is a good justification for continuing to do things that we feel are morally unjust? Just because we've been doing something for a long time doesn't mean we should continue to do it, right? Can you see any other area in our own lives where we might be using animals unnecessarily?
Maybe in farms, especially like with pigs and cows,
Yeah.
how they use them for like dairy and pork and stuff.
Yeah.
How they like sometimes feed them like steroids just to make them bigger. So that's like a bad thing for like them, but then I guess somewhat good for us because we like get more products.
We get tasty products that we like to eat. So do you think that a tasty product like bacon is worth the life of a pig?
Actually, it kind of depends, cause like some places in the world, like third world countries, are like are in like poverty and stuff, and they need the food. But then like places like here, we have like a lot of resources where we could take from like from fruit and stuff.
So you say that it's not a necessity for us to be consuming animals here in Calgary?
Yeah, it
and
is.
for that reason, it may not be morally justified. Yeah.
Usually when people eat, like sometimes they see videos and then they make up their mind if they're like a vegan or something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
because like of the choices people make.
Yeah.
And like I could be a vegan right now because of like a commercial I just watched about like this certain product, like how they raise their animals,
Yeah.
and that could like affect someone's mind like crucially. Like
Have you ever seen footage of like slaughterhouses yourself?
yes, I have like during school, but
Has that ever made you consider wanting to be a vegan?
it has made some of my friends, but not really me.
Yeah.
Because like I usually eat a lot of meat.
Yeah, yeah. And I was the same when I was. I mean, it was when I was your age. I guess you're maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ate a lot of meat up until about the age of 22. So it's not because we don't enjoy the products that we give it up necessarily. It's because we see that the act isn't maybe justified, and if we can get by and maybe even live a healthier life without them, then it's a pretty awesome choice to choose not to hurt an animal for our own enjoyment,
Yeah.
for our own taste pleasure. Yeah. Do you see any other area in our life where we might be using animals unnecessarily?
For sure, there are.
Yeah.
There are instances where you're using them. Yeah.
How about the animals we eat, for instance?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's necessary that we continue to consume animals to survive?
No, it's not about necessity. It's
Yeah.
about preferences of people.
Preference and taste, that's right. Do you think taste is more important than the life of an animal?
It's not about importance. It's about preferences, actually.
Okay.
So it's not about. Yeah.
Is there another area in our lives that we might be using animals unnecessarily?
Well, testing probably.
Testing, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What about the animals we eat, for instance?
Um,
Do you think it's necessary to eat meat to survive?
no. I guess it really depends on where you are and where you
Okay.
live.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
Cultural aspects to it?
It's not a cultural aspect to
Okay.
it. It's more, you know, for where we live in a breadbasket, so we have bountiful sources of natural protein that we can grow, like pulse and peas and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
If you live in the Northwest Territories,
Yeah.
the only option may be caribou
That's-
or seal or something like that. So I don't want to say it's a blanket. Like I think for us that live in more developed, not to say developed, but
Yeah.
more climates that can sustain plant agriculture, then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Can you think of, and you've already hinted on or touched on it, can you think of any other way that we might be using animals unnecessarily?
I mean, the whole meat industry again.
exactly.
That's
You don't think we need to eat meat to survive, right?
no.
Cool.
I don't think so.
I completely agree.
I'm
Vegetarian.
actually vegetarian, so yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of any other area in our life where we might be using animals unnecessarily that harms them?
Bullfighting is one of them. Yeah, bullfighting. I know of more, but I can't think of the names of them. But there's way.
How about a really big one? How about the animals we eat?
Yeah.
Do you think that we need to eat meat to survive?
No, but lots of people enjoy eating like meat, bacon, steak, stuff like that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more important that people like the taste of something versus an animal's life?
No, I love animals. Animals are personally one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Do you think there are other areas in our lives where we might be using animals unnecessarily?
Probably.
Probably. Can you think of any?
No.
No. Animal testing, for instance?
Yeah.
How about the animals we eat?
I don't know.
Do you think that in this day and age we need to be eating meat or animal products to survive? Or to sustain a healthy lifestyle?
Probably a little bit of it.
A little bit of it? What do you think you need from animal products to keep you healthy?
Protein.
Protein. Can you find protein from other sources?
Yes.
Such as?
Milk.
Milk? How about non-animal products?
Yeah, but we use animal products in a lot of stuff.
It's true. It's everywhere. It's very abundant in this society.
It's not for eating.
But the fact of the matter still stands
We
that.
use fine bone china.
Yes, it's true.
Do you go and criticize those people?
Chinese people for
No, fine bone china.
what's that? Sorry.
You know your china.
Fine bone china.
Yeah, the fine, china.
Oh, I see what you're saying. China like plates,
Yeah,
like nice
they're made
plates
from the bones of.
of animals.
Yeah, but nobody
Yeah.
complains to them about getting all this fine bone china. But
I think some people might. I'm certainly not.
I've never seen anybody protest that.
Well, I'll be first up then to protest it. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Have a great time at the Stampede.
Only peace on our table. We just feeling quite grateful. Plate full of vegetables. No waste, no hate, no pain at all. We connect to the empathy.